the story of Eve from her heart. I remember the first moment I opened my eyes. The world was bright and full of life. Warm wind brushed my skin, and the scent of flowers filled the air. Birds sang above me, and the rivers sparkled like silver threads through the garden. Then I saw him. Adam looked at me with wonder as if I were the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. In that moment, I knew I was not alone. We walked together through Eden, laughing like children discovering the world for the first time. Every tree bent with fruit. Every creature moved peacefully beside us, and God walked with us. His presence filled the garden with peace. In the center of the garden stood a tree unlike the others. Its fruit shimmered in the sunlight. Adam told me what God had said. We could eat from any tree except that one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I accepted it without question. After all, the garden had everything. Why would we ever need more? One quiet day, while I stood near the tree, a voice spoke. It was the serpent. His words were soft, curious, almost friendly. Did God really say, "You cannot eat from this tree"? I answered carefully, "If we eat it, we will die." But the serpent leaned closer and whispered something that stirred my thoughts. "You will not die. Your eyes will open. You will become wise." I looked at the fruit again. It was beautiful. I wondered, why would God forbid something so wonderful? A strange feeling grew inside me, curiosity, mixed with doubt. My hand trembled as I reached toward the fruit. Part of me felt fear. Another part felt excitement. I picked the fruit. For a moment, the garden seemed to hold its breath. Then I took a bite. The sweetness filled my mouth. Nothing happened. At least, not immediately. I turned to Adam and shared it with him. He trusted me, and he ate. And then everything changed. Suddenly, the world felt different. The innocence that once wrapped around us disappeared. For the first time, I felt shame. I looked at Adam and saw the same fear in his eyes. We covered ourselves with leaves, trying to hide from a feeling we didn't understand. Then we heard the sound that once filled us with joy, God walking in the garden. But now, we hid. When God called us, my heart felt heavy. I knew something precious had been broken. Not just a rule, but a trust. When the truth came out, I felt the weight of my choice. The garden that once felt like home suddenly felt distant. God's words carried sadness, not just judgment. Pain, struggle, and hardship would now be part of life. As we walked out of the garden, I turned back one last time. The rivers shimmered the same. The trees still swayed in the wind, but the gate was closing. An angel stood guard with a flaming sword. Eden was behind us, forever. I held Adam's hand tightly. The world outside was unknown and frightening, but deep in my heart, I felt something else too. Hope. Because even though paradise was lost, life was still beginning. And through us, humanity would grow.